What is the last one? This is Disaffected here. Welcome back to another episode of Dramatical Murder Reconnect. As today, oh my god, what is Viatry going to do to us now is the real question. It could go either way. I think I have a couple ideas. There's going to be multiple ways to get in Aoba, so yeah, it's not going to be just one way, I should say. Even though they did force themselves into one way, you know, give them the two oval towers up the Kojaku. Anyways, that'll be, I'm not sure if that'll happen again, because who knows? They do stuff different in Reconnect, so I'm assuming we're going to try some new positions, which is not a good thing. And right now, Aoba's covered in piss. His own piss, which is, oh god, I try not to hurl. I really hurl. God, I can't even speak right. I can't speak straight, but you can't speak straight in this game. We all know that by now, but anyways, awesome ones. Oh, without further ado, let's see what Viatry's going to do to us next. More importantly, Hersha and the lion, whatever the lion's name is, but sorry for giving you such painful... Oh. Virus's voice is echoes in a tone that sounds as if he doesn't really care.
でも、暴力以外で人間の自由意志を奪うには、この方法が効果絶大なんです。
This is probably worse than that. I'd probably prefer violence. I'd prefer to be dead, honestly.
自分じゃ全く動けないようにして、放置プレイってね。青葉さんに不必要な傷はつけたくありませんから、暴力は NG です。となると、こういう方法になってしまうんですよね。
You really like Aoba in this type of position right now? In a fetal position, covered in his own bit? No, thank you. Virus's voice pauses, and something touches my hair. Ooh. Virus is stroking my hair. A weak stimulus runs through me and my body shivers a bit. I don't blame you. I mean, he has a cold touch. Which makes me wonder, does he actually get hot down there? If that's okay, no. Anyways.
こんな状態では当然トイレに行けませんから、粗相をしてしまうことも想定済みです。
Yeah, because I'm locked up. So of course that's... Thank you, Captain Obvious. How much math did that require you to take to understand that I couldn't go to that?
でも、青葉さん自身は嫌ですよね。いくら仕方のないことだとしても、大の大人が漏らしてしまうなんて。
Oh no, I love it because this is the only way I can get bats now. You know, I love the golden showers on myself. God.
普通の人間ならば抵抗を覚えます。絶対に嫌だって思いますよね。
Even if I did remember, how the hell would I even... You just said to yourself, I can't even go to the bathroom. Why would I even piss? And knowing that I was looking at this floor, it looks like it's... It looks tile-ish, so it's going to slide back to me regardless. I don't know what you're talking about.
それでもどうしようもないから漏らしてしまう。体の自然な欲求ですから。
Okay, even I think Desire... Well, actually, now thinking about it, would Desire actually enjoy peeing on himself? Maybe he would, but at the same time, it's like, really? That might be a little too disgusting for Desire. At least I think so.
かといって、素直にそうすることはできませんよね。屈辱的ですしね。惨めすぎて泣きたくなってしまうくらいに。
Yeah, it's humiliating, alright? His voice is close. His tone is kinder than usual, as if you were talking to a child. He's always been talking to us like that. Both of them have. But it's on purpose. What he's saying is far from kind. He's completely explaining a situation that I don't want to think about, making me face the miserable reality that I've averted my eyes from. Before, when I wasn't used to this situation yet, his words left traces on my mind, making me feel terrible. This might also be a trick to take away my free will.
俺たちは青葉が何を垂れ流そうと全然気にしねえけど。
Please don't tell me we're going to do something disgusting. Saying it like that. And of course, Trap, it is a trap after all. And I know his name's not Trap Hospital, so don't get mad at me. I call him Trap for a reason. Because obviously this is a whole trap. And Trip, we know Trip loves things. He loves anything that comes out of Aoba, which makes me scared. Which makes me think that we might actually have a golden shower scene. Oh my god. And we might have a, some chances of brown stuff falling. Anyway,
気にしません。でも、俺たちはよくても青葉さんがね。
I prefer not to. I just don't want to see someone covered in my own fluids, if you will. Unless it's clear as the fluid, then that's all right with me. But the other fluids, no. Anyways, Virus's hand that was stroking my hair stops and his voice gets farther away, almost to where Trip is. His tone also returns to usual.
そういった心理的な葛藤を繰り返すと、どんなにへこたれない人でも。プライドが少しずつ削り取られていくんです。
Well, as long as you don't bite my oval tower, then I think we're okay.
だって青葉さん、 今更逃げ出そうとは思わないでしょ?
Why are you asking me this? I'm chained up. How the hell am I supposed to run away? What?
逆らうなんて体力気力の無駄。俺たちの言うことを素直に聞いてる方が
Yeah, because
ずっと楽だよ、Aoba.
we're not even in Japan anymore. I'm pretty confident we're not in Japan. So if I do run off, where am I supposed to go? Like, seriously, apparently I don't have an identity here anymore. I lost everything. I really did. We don't have an N. We don't know where the N is. Probably, you know, turned off, if you will, for life, which is actually very depressing putting it like that. But it's true. And, like, seriously, we have nowhere to escape. I'm somewhere as far away as possible from Midojima.
ですよ。青葉さんが諦めて俺たちに捕まった時、あの時が俺たちの決断につながったんです。
And I was going to mention this because I actually noticed this when I was editing the last episode that this route is really quiet. When I say it's quiet, I mean like there's no sound, there's no music. It's just voices of the two most deviant characters in this game. And none of us can argue against that. But I kind of noticed that. It's like, God, adds like to the creepiness of them too. No music. Am I the only one who recognized that? I don't think so. I think some of you Awesomes also recognized it, but it's just creepy. I don't like how there's no music. Like, it needs some music to bring at least a little bit of joy into it, but like, if even it's like the tiniest percent, it would. But this is like.
青葉が諦めないなら放っておこうと思ったんだけど、そうじゃなかったから。弱ってるから捕まえてくれって、そう言ってるように俺たちには見えた。
I always hear the voices of these two, as if they're falling from above, far off into the distance, in a place where they're not out of reach. It's like I'll never be able to go up where they are, as long as I'm here.
俺たち、別に東映に忠誠を誓っているわけではありませんし、せっかく青葉さんにつけ込む隙が見えたのに、そこに飛び込まないなんて手はありません。
I'm surprised Toei got so fooled that easily. Like, seriously, out of all people, Toei, you would think it'd be like, oh, you know, look into the history of those two, see what's their relation with Aoba-san, or, you know, test them or something, see how much they're obsessed with them. But nope, he's like, oh, of course I trust you two, because you two are part of the, they're not part of the mafia, they're part of the, what's it called? Oh man, well, what are they called again? Oh my goodness, Yakuza. It's like, oh, you know, we're gonna trust Yakuza in this case. Of course we are. Like, that's pretty fucked up, you two.
そうです。さあ、それではそろそろ風呂場へ行きましょうか。洗ってあげますよ。
I know, Camera-chan. I do not want to go into the bathroom with these two either. I am actually legit scared like you are, Camera-chan. Okay, Camera-chan, I'm going to calm you down, and we're going to get through this together, okay? Okay, Camera-chan. We're going to do this. I know it's going to be painful, at least, well, to our eyes, at least, but we should feel bad for Aoba. At least we're not in his position right now. Taking a bath to those two, well, for some of you Awesomes, might be a daydream, if you will, because I know how some of you Awesomes are. You want to get wet with, if I try. Oh my god. Okay, I can't believe I just said that anyways. Oh god. Oh. Either virus or Trip takes off my cuffs and listening from behind. Of course. Prompted by that move, I slowly stand up. Oh, there's a drippy sound and a strange feeling. I'm gonna pretend that dripping sound was just water. No, that might be even worse. I don't know, because it is water. Ugh. Okay, like my thin skin was peeling from the floor when my legs were bent. That part of me is lukewarm and wet. I can't think of it. It probably smells, you know? Oh my god, what has he been eating? But, yeah, what if you also mentioned that too? It's like, how does that make any sense? If they're not getting him water or anything, then how is he even, like, peeing and stuff? Yeah, I mean, just science, you know? Matt Pat should do something, or maybe I should. It's the science behind how is he peeing at the moment. And again, this probably explains the piss yellow socks, how he got him in the first place, which actually he is kind of, Aoba deep. Anyways, we're not going to get into that. And because of gravity, a moisture runs down my skin. Oh, it's my urine that I was soaking in. No, it was, sure, no, I don't think it's dirty or unpleasant anymore. Since I was in the same position for nearly the entire day, my legs are unsteady as I walk. My joints are stiff. I'm pretty sure a couple other joints are stiff, but it's not yours. It's the other two. Okay. Stumbling and being supported on both sides, I'm taken to the bathroom. And here's where we meet our end. Oh, wonderful. Goodness, that didn't sound like a bath. That sounded like a pool we just jumped in. With Virus and Trip's guidance, I sit in the bathtub's shallow, warm water. My hands and feet are free, but blindfold is left but the blindfold is left as is. After a little bit, the shower's water comes raining from above. Are you sure it's shower water? Just saying, I have a bad feeling about this, awesome ones. The blindfold absorbs the water, making it stick closely to my eyes. It seems like the wounds from the handcuffs from when I resisted have healed, since it doesn't hurt anymore under the flow of hot water. Maybe it's because I can't feel anything anymore. Oh, you two are sick, you know that? You're freaking creepy and sick! Oh. Of course you would, Trip. Of course you would. I have a feeling it's gonna be a trap, too. Their voices echo through the bathroom, followed by rustling sounds. I sit absentmindedly while being struck by the shower water, and I feel a sharp feeling run through my hair. Virus handles my hair carefully and gently. Even still, it seems like I still have feeling when people touch it. Surprisingly. I hold my breath and grit my teeth. Oh, you're going to be doing more of that soon enough, I'm sure. Virus's fingers slowly rub the foamy shampoo into my scalp and moves to the rest of my hair. Oh, God, I just thought of something adorable, but at the same time, in this case, it wouldn't be. Like, imagine if Virus was like, foo-ah, 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 foo-ah. Oh, my God. That would be terrible. You know what? I would be so pissed, actually, if they do that, because that gives me... Oh, I wouldn't be thinking about Clear's fuas anymore. I'd be thinking about theirs, and it would be terrible. But each time he does, a pain similar to itchiness runs through my hair. And I intentionally grab the edges of my bat tail with both hands. I hear the sound of water dripping. I hear Virus's voice behind me. Oh. Oh, shut up, Trip. No one likes you anyway. Trip takes my legs and begins washing them with what feels like a sponge. Well, because he was actually near death. Spoiler alert. Like, if you also haven't watched your lens route, now I reconnect because we're about to do that after this one. I know some, but yeah, some of you also were confused. Like, why would I skip lens good route? Like, no, we're not skipping it. We're skipping it, but it's going to be after this. That's all I'm trying to say, like, after Fire tries. But if you haven't watched the original route, you should go check it out to understand. But I think a lot of you awesomes already caught up to this point, at least. I hope so. In other words, he was immune to it. Say, his seemingly transparent, pale, and glazed expression flows through my mind. I wanted to save him. And we learned that later on, too. Those two are... Way before they knew me, they knew Sei. I don't know how much longer before, but I wonder if Sei had always felt like that. Like, even though he was alive, he was living as though he were dead. Sei... When I think of Sei, I feel anger and bitterness stir abruptly in my chest. That feeling reminds me that I'm not dead yet, and it surprises me. The more I remember Sei, the stronger my feelings become. If I had known about myself much sooner, I might have been able to save him. When I was living with Granny and P, Sei was always suffering. Machines and tubes were stuck throughout his body, making data. He was suffering more than I am now, and he knew that one would come to save him. Even if he wanted to die, he couldn't. In this situation, he struggled alone and never wished for anything. Help didn't come. The people around him were only there for experiments, and his cries would never reach them. No one treated him as a human being. Over and over, his heart was pulled around 1,000s of times in despair, continuing to receive treatment worse than death, and his choice in the end was to do nothing. It hurt just to think or feel. So he didn't think of anything, didn't see anything. If he acted like how those around him wanted to act, then he wouldn't be necessarily hurt. His heart became nothing. Surely that was Sei's conclusion. Now I understand that he didn't have a say in anything. Okay, that was so bad. That was so terrible. I'm so sorry pun was intended this time around, but now I understand. Because I would do the same thing. Don't think about anything. Don't feel anything. Conceal, don't feel. Don't let them know that you're about to be boned. Okay, that's getting awkward. Getting awkward. I can't take it anymore. I don't think you also can. But don't think about anything. Don't feel anything. If you do, someday it'll destroy you. Perhaps it's our instinct to do that in order to prevent ourselves from completely breaking down. Even so, now I understand Sei's feeling so well that it's painful. Sei.
おや、アーバさんどうしましたバスタブに爪を立てて。
So Aoba is this strong, but he can't beat these two up somehow. They must be interested in my reaction. Their hands stop.
もしかして、セイを思い出したから
I told you Osmonds was a trap. They're setting this up all along. They're like, how can we get a reaction out of Aoba? Let's talk about his possibly dead brother now. You know how fucked up that is? God. It's been a while since I spoke it, so my voice is so strained it doesn't sound like my own.
セイさんがどうしましたセイが今
Oh, god damn it, phone. Why you have to... No, I know it's a trap. You don't have to warn me that this is a trap all along. We know something's bad about to happen, so you can shut up, phone. But as I say that, my nails dig even deeper into the bathtub. Asking those two something myself, it's more humiliating than withstanding the horrible treatment from them. But it's safe. Oh god, I thought you actually made a pun there. I'm like, really, Aoba? This is the time, but it's safe. I wonder, is he living properly? Probably not. That's all I want to know. At the same time, I think about why I want to know more about Sei. Oh, because he doesn't know that he's. Wait, does he know that they're related yet? Maybe not, I don't know. But when I'm reminded of Sei, I think about him so much. It's as if I'm craving him. Oh, that's kind of a strange way of using your words. Like, that's a terrible way of using your words, in fact. Why would you say, oh god, anyways, let's not think of that. There's probably, self-est again, or selfist. God, I can't say it right. I'm so sorry, awesome ones, but self-cessed, I don't know. That's probably because I'm escaping from reality and guilt. Not only I was unable to help Sei, but I was placed in a desperate situation too. I can't escape this place. Instead, I can imagine the suffering Sei went through and emphasize with his feelings. But Sei has to be suffering much more than I am right now, so I'm still in a better place. With that thought, the pain I'm enduring lessens a bit. Like, I understand why Sei escapes from reality and realizes how I'm doing it myself. Because of that, feelings of importance for Sei overflow. Guilt quickly becomes regret for Sei. I'm the worst.
Seiのことが知りたい
Can you read my mind?
アオバが俺たちに質問するなんて珍しいね。やっぱり双子のお兄ちゃんだし、気になるんだ。
Because I don't know anything about him, so yes I do.
だろうね。
Sure enough, their voices are flowing with the tone of obvious enjoyment. Those... not gonna curse, but I knew this would happen. I didn't want it to. They're just playing with you. Can't you see Aoba? Again, I've been saying, it's a trap. The whole fucking time it was a trap. Oh, and by the way, he does know that he's his older brother. Obviously, with that statement, he didn't seem surprised at all. But I don't want to entertain these guys anymore. Well, I hate to tell you, but you're going to be their entertainment for a very long time now until they find somebody else, which is, I guess, extremely unlikely. But I wanted them to hurry up and get bored of me. If that happens, sure, they'll throw me out like a toy they're no longer interested in. Yep, they'll throw you in the trash where we all belong, along with Divided. I know a lot of you Awesomes probably agree with that. I don't know how, but at this rate, they'll probably kill me. Even though I wish for that to happen, when I think about Sei, my thoughts immediately stop. Like a flame flickering in the dark, my feelings waver inside of me.
アオバさん、セイさんについてはぜひともお答えしたいところなんですが、残念ながら彼が生きているかどうかは俺たちにもわかりません。
I hate saying it like this, no pun intended. I mean, seriously, I didn't mean to make a pun there, but like, I really hope he's dead, because this is just a depressing world for both of us. Like, honestly, I wish both of them would just die quickly, but we both know that's not gonna happen.
何しろ俺たちはもう緑島にいえ日本にはもう戻れませんから
There we go. We're not here anymore. I don't know where we're at, and that's why if we do try and make an escape, we have nowhere to go. Literally, we have nothing, and I don't think we even have our coil on us. Like, do we still have our coil? Like, I think that's a no, but we have nothing to do. We're stuck here for life. We just have to be obedient. Either that or try to kill ourselves. Seriously, that's like the only two options I could see right now. I don't know what else there is.
調べることはできるかもだけど、今すぐは無理だね。でも 俺たちはもともとそれほど生産に近いわけじゃないんですよ。
Well, thank the Dramatical Murder gods for that
お
one.
世話係といっても、身の回りの世話をするという意味ではなく、監視役でしたし。
兼ボディーガードってとこだね。身の回りの世話は専属の研究員がやってた。
まあ、セイさんの能力を聞いたときは本当に驚きましたけどね。それこそ神様か魔法使いみたいだって、そんなことを思いました。しかも人工ではなく。
でもセイは最初から東映のところにいたし、あんな状態だし、すごいとは思ったけど、それ以上の興味はなかったっつうか。
So, in other words, you're saying that I'm hotter than he is. That's pretty much what you're saying. He was amazing, but they didn't give you that feeling, if you will. That warm feeling in your fucking cold ass. I'm not gonna say anymore.
そうそう。
No pun intended.
あれこそまさしく高嶺の花ってやつですよね。
As he says those words void of any feeling, Virus begins washing my hair again. When he does, a stabbing needle-like pain runs through my hair.
あ、すみません。大丈夫ですか？指に髪が絡まって少し引っ張ってしまいました。
Oh, you ended up pulling it, you say? Goodness. Well, I hope later you'll be pulling out, if you know what I'm saying.
Aoba.
Oh my god.
こっちの足上げて。
God damn it.
そ
Why are you doing this, Aoba? Don't lift your leg up. You're just inviting him in at this point. Like, no! Oh, Trip also resumes washing my body. Goodness, this is going to be a long, bad route. God, I already see it now. And during the pulsing pain through my hair, I moved my leg as Trip told me.
セイの力のことは知ってたから、アオバの力を知った時も本当に驚いた。
セイさんみたいなすごい人間が2人もってね。しかもそれが双子だったなんて思いもよりませんでした。
Just like you two, right? You two share the same fucking end goal, it seems like.
俺は占いとかそういった類のものは信じない方ですが、さすがに運命を感じずにはいられませんでしたよ。
Yep, you can blame that on me.
初めて会った時のアオバ、マジですげえかっこよかったしな。
Thank you, I guess. I don't know.
あの頃の青葉さん、今じゃ考えられないほど荒れてましたよね。
What do you mean I'm rough?
喧嘩っ早いし、ドラッグも酒もやるし、
Oh.
女性とも遊んでましたし。
What? Did I read that? I played around with women? What the fuck is... I'm mind blown. I really am. I did not think... Yeah, I know, Cameron. I'm shocked too. I don't understand. I'm just as shocked as you are about this whole thing. I can't believe Aoba did things like that. Well, it's kind of a no-shocker, but I didn't think it was going to be with women. Cameron, this route is just... We're learning a lot, in a sense, I guess. And I'm scared. I really am scared.
でも、殺人を犯すとか、理性を飛ばすとか、そういった一線は越えないようにされていたみたいですけど。
Well, there's actually reasoning for that. That was bad. I know that was bad, but no, seriously, there was reasoning for why I guess we didn't do that. I think it's because of Ren. Ren was our person who was helping us out. But I was gonna say something. I didn't realize. No pun intended. But oh, now, see, this explains a lot. So they were observing us. Because again, I said it before. In the last round, Ren's batted. I swear to God, I saw Vitri in the background watching us. Like, I swear it was them. And I think I am right. Because I don't think any of you also answered it somehow. I mean, maybe you were confused like I am. Because it looked like them. But I think that just answered it. That those two were actually watching us for some reason. Who knows why? I don't know. And, yeah, we were pretty rough back then. I don't remember the past clearly, no pun intended, but in the time I've been with these two, my memories of the past have begun to come back. Now, I can remember my past much more than before, because my parents led me to Ojima. Little by little, I became unstable. I no longer laughed at the things that I thought were fun, and no longer cried at the things that I thought were sad. Even if I thought something was strange, I didn't know the cause. I didn't realize there was a darkness in me. After a few years, one day, suddenly, the balance of my mind crumbled. It feels as if I lost my footing and abruptly fell off a cliff. All of a sudden, everything made me anxious, including Granny, and everything around me felt unstable. I was scared of an unknown feeling. I hold myself up in my room for days. Don't use the word hold. This is a terrible time to be using that freaking word. Oh my goodness, because they're going to be drilling pretty deep in you. Oh, Granny was worried and checked on me. When she knocked on my locked door, I trembled. The sound of the knocks were like footsteps chasing me. It's those drugs, man. Oh my goodness. You know what this sounds like? I'm not sure if anyone else one's read the book. It's a great book, by the way. I loved it. Was The Heroin Diaries by Nikki Sixx. I remember reading that, and God, I read this in like high school, I think, like early high school, but it's just kind of a weird time to read it. But when I read it, I was like, it's the same thing right now. He must have did heroin back then, because I know, well, I don't know personally, but according to the book in The Heroin Diaries, like Nikki Sixx, who, if you also want to know, a famous musician. Anyways, I'm not going to go any further. You just look him up. Pretty much, he was acting like this. He was paranoid like the whole time when he went back to his mansion or house or whatever it was. He always went in the closet, apparently, was just scared of the police or someone was like chasing after him. Like the dude was like paranoid like no other. It was seriously like crazy reading his own diary stuff, and like, oh, it is just nuts. But I have a feeling that might what Aoba might be into right now, which, oh, Aoba, man, come on. I became weaker and weaker as time went on. I only left my room to use the bathroom or restroom. I stayed in bed and lost the will to eat or drink. As I stared blankly at my ceiling, nothing mattered anymore, I thought. Being scared and worrying were getting tiring. I didn't know why I was so anxious or why I thought everything was scary, but that didn't matter. I was tired of thinking. Whether I lived or died, it didn't matter. But if I tried to die, that would take effort. Even dying was troublesome. If that were the case, then I would try to handle myself, or I would try handing myself over to the carefree flow. I knew guys who lived by simply having fun and not doing anything. They met up in alleys and were the kind of people who just waste their time there. Oh, goodness. Yeah, I'm sure they're very kind people. Oh, we're the kind of people. Okay, I almost read that wrong, but I avoided being influenced by them. They found their own depraved ways of having fun. That's why I never associated with them. Up until that point, I lived completely differently, but now I thought maybe it was all right to try living the same way as they did. I thought nothing mattered anymore and decided to join one of their groups. I might have been trying to deliberately hate myself. I tried to live like them in depravity. I hardly returned home. Still, it was difficult for me to give up the morals I'd made for myself. Even back at the beginning, I must have already had an idea that it was troublesome and not liking me at all. Even back then, it felt like nothing I did was very fun. There was always an empty feeling as if my emotions were being filtered. But since I had already started, I did as much as I could. Then I had an accident. No, an accident happened. Broke my rhyme's opponent's mind and crippled them. At the time, I wasn't aware that I used scrap, but I noticed that inside me there was some kind of power. I didn't think it was dangerous. In fact, I felt a sense of superiority. Having already been corrupted, I thought I was different from everyone else. I'd used my power before, but never went so far to break someone. That's when I first realized it, when I destroyed someone beyond repair. I did something unbelievable. Rhyme could cripple people. I already knew that, and I knew someone who had been crippled by it. But I thought that was just someone else's problem. When I became responsible for crippling someone, I realized the seriousness of the situation for the first time. It was like that all the blood drained from my body and I blacked out. When I woke up, I was in a hospital bed. Why was I in the hospital? Rather, what had happened in the first place? With no recollection of what had happened before I woke up, I was confused. My memory of what had occurred was still vague. You were in a fight and you lost consciousness. The police said you have temporary amnesia about what happened, Granny said. That was when I began to think that perhaps that was what had happened. But that wasn't true. I used the power to scrap on my opponent and blacked out. My entire memory up until then was gone too. Granny said, you used to use scrap on the nurse too, but I don't remember. Or you used, not you used to. But after that, I was discharged and returned to my day-to-day life. But I never went near the Southern District again. Since I was missing memories, somehow my spirits felt dampened. I didn't want to do rhyme, and I didn't want to be involved with anyone. I didn't want to go home either. Once in a while, I got into fights with those who held a grudge against me from rhyme, but that was it. Something inside me had changed, but I didn't know what it was. What did I forget? What happened in my memories I lost? Holding that hazy thought, I lived gloomily. And then you gave yourself to the two devils in front of you. That is what happened. without, well, you try to give a fight, but it was a terrible attempt to fight them back with your all-power scrap, but now your voice is gone. But I met Mizuki around that time. He'd seen me fight others and invited me to join his rape team. I declined, but Mizuki and I got along, so we spent time together. Time passed like that until something happened that changed me. Mink almost ran over you, if I remember correctly. It was when I was connected to Rhyme. Reconnected! Da, da, da. Okay, that was... that was actually really terrible. I am so sorry. When I was fighting at least 10 people at once. I tried to be mature, but they really pissed me off and I ended up leaving them half dead. The feelings that were like a flame about to get flared up and exploded all at once. Perhaps the rage was piled up bit by bit every day when I was living in a haze. But no matter how violently I reacted, the feelings didn't disappear. The haze stayed as it was and nothing changed. Self-hatred, regret, anger, frustration. Carrying those feelings to the extremes, after I was taken in by the police, I was forced to go home. I hadn't returned home for several days and hadn't seen Granny either. I didn't want to see Granny's face. Not use Granny's face. I would be fucked up beyond belief. Oh my goodness. Then I would understand how Vitri was so interested in, oh man, because they love fucked up people. I mean, oh my goodness. Oh, aren't we all though? Sort of, maybe. I don't know. It wasn't because I hated her, but because of guilt. But since everything had been stripped from me, including your clothes, and now you're in the bathtub, little does he know that, but I had no strength left to resist. I went with the flow and returned home. After receiving the call from the police, Granny was quietly waiting at the dining room table. I didn't say anything, no pun intended, and tried to go past the dining room, straight upstairs. That was when I saw it. Saw what? Granny's back, sitting alone at the table. It was as if I were paralyzed and I couldn't look away. If I looked close at her small body, I could tell that she was trembling. Granny was crying. That day, unexpectedly, was my 20th birthday. I'd completely forgotten. Was she worried about me, or was she ashamed at how pathetic I was? I don't know which one it was, but either way, Granny was crying. When I realized that, it was like a slap to the face. I thought nothing mattered, gave in to despair, and went into the despair school, or the Host Peak Academy, some people would call it, and did whatever I pleased. All you technically can, but I never imagined that Granny had been so worried. I should have noticed much earlier, but I'd only just realized how much of a huge baka I had been. Even though Granny had been reaching out this whole time, for some reason her crying figure pierced my heart. That was probably the first time I saw the weakest side of my usually stubborn Granny. Granny is called Granny because she's older than my parents, weaker, thinner, and small. I made Granny worry while thinking of nothing but myself. What the hell was I doing? I thought Granny would have been better off without me, but I was wrong. If that were the case, I'm positive she wouldn't have been crying. I did something horrible. This small person had always been thinking of me. I held back, returned to my room, and cried alone. I shed tears for all the sins I committed up until then, cried with my face buried into my bed until I couldn't open my eyes anymore. The next morning, I apologized to Granny. I apologized for everything up until then and vowed to live properly from then on. As if she hadn't shed a single tear last night, Granny glared at me, let out a small sigh, and gave me a little smile, and said, I know. At the same time, Granny seemed exhausted, seeing her just as small as she was the day before. I promised to never cause her trouble or make her worry again. After being protected by Granny all this time, I thought that was only natural. I was bigger than Granny now. I hope you are at the age of 20. I really do hope you are. I needed to be the one to protect her. After that happened, I completely changed my life. Granny. I want to see Granny. Well, maybe in the next episode, we'll see if you could clean Granny. Or, what? What the fuck did I just say? This whole thing's just messed up. Look at my mind. Look at I tried to me even. And probably did a you awesome ones as well. And I know some of you are probably in the bathtub watching. Oh, God. I hope you're not. That's just really awkward, isn't it now? But anyways, I did hope you enjoyed this episode of Dramatical Murder Reconnect. If you guys leave a like and share the video if you enjoyed, don't subscribe. I'll see you later with some more Dramatical Murder Reconnect. Probably on, what is today, Monday or Tuesday? I don't know what today is, actually. That's kind of a strange, I think today's Monday. No, it's Tuesday. I'll see you with another episode on Thursday. I'll see you later with Danganronpa, hopefully tonight. Most likely I will. And hopefully a live stream. Hopefully I'm awake. I fell asleep last night. I crashed pretty hard. Anyways, and other than that, or I might see you Danganronpa tomorrow. We'll see. Anyways, and Lamento tomorrow. And yeah, until then, I'll see you guys later, okay? Love ya. Don't forget to stay awesome.